Welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a blending 101 video. This is going to be the first video in the series of videos that I plan on filming for my YouTube channel, and I'm going to teach you guys just some tips and tricks when it comes to blending and doing eye looks. So I'm going to be doing a more like simple, easy beginner eye look, just to kind of teach you some techniques when it comes to blending out your shadows, just so that it comes out good. And then for today's video, I'm going to be using my Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe. And I freaking love this palette. If you are a beginner, you should get this palette because there are so many neutral tones and so many like tones that you do for different looks. Like there's even like some pops of color too. So it's not super overwhelming. And as you can just hit myself in the face.
But as you can tell, your girl kind of uses it a lot.
It's like very used and abused, but that's how you know that you genuinely love something. So I just got off of work, just to preface, so I have leftover makeup from work and mascara and all that junk. Typically when I'm doing eye looks, I always do brows and then my eyes. You can do whichever order you are comfortable with. There's no rules to makeup. Like, this is not saying that you have to do things this way. This is just how I do it and what I find works best for me. With that being said, since I do have face makeup on, which normally I do not do, I'm going to put a loose translucent powder underneath of my eyes just to kind of catch any fallout. Alrighty. So first things first, you can go in with a primer, you can go in with concealer. I personally never use eyeshadow primer, but I use a concealer to prime my eyes. I would typically use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer or the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define or the Maybelline FitMe Concealer.
Some people don't set their primer. I do because I feel like it helps to make things a little bit more seamless, a little bit easier, because especially when you're a beginner, it's a little bit harder to blend something on a wet, sticky base.
Now we're gonna go into our palette and we're gonna start with a lighter shade because you want it to be like a gradient from like light to dark. So this color right here, this light like transition color, and this one is called MFEO. Then I'm just gonna kind of swirl my brush and then tap off the excess. There's two different motions that I like to describe the blending motions, but there's the windshield wiper motion, which is when you go from one corner to the middle, like from the corner outer to the inner. And I always do outer to inner because you want the most product to be on the outside of your eye and you don't want to put too much on the inner part of your eye. It just kind of closes off the eye if you do it that way. So the windshield wiper motions is kind of just to lay the product, spread it out evenly onto your eyes. And then the other motion is a circular motion, and this is gonna just kind of blend out any harsh lines that you're gonna have. And it's just more for like a diffusing a line. So just how I said you want to start with lighter and then go darker, is the same thing with the brushes. You're gonna want to start with bigger brushes and then work your way to the smaller brushes. The bigger, the fluffier the brush, the more diffused the eyeshadow looks. The smaller, the more compact the brushes, the more pigment that you're gonna put on. And we're gonna go into a darker shade, and we're gonna mix two shades, and I'm gonna mix the shade Pooter and the shade Butter. So, and then just a little bit lower in the eye, more so in the crease. The crease of your eye, you can kind of feel it. You have a bone right here, and then your eyeball, and then the space in between, that is your crease. Add a little bit at a time, and if you want to add more product, you definitely can. But then I'm gonna go back in with that first brush that we used, and you can see where it's like naked, the little transition, and then the color we put down. And I'm just gonna take those little circular motions along the edges. So next in the palette, we're gonna take this shade right here, which is called Buns. And then we're gonna go in with a deeper shade. These two darker browns here, and then this one is Chip and this one is Mocha. The outer corner of our eye, which is like the outer V is what I like to call it. So from like here to here. And I just kind of go in the crease, go in the outer corner, in that V-like shape.
And I don't know if you guys can see, because I don't have a really good camera yet.
But you can kind of see it's like light dark. You don't want that. Then we're gonna go in with that brush that we last used. You can even pick up a little bit more of that product of the eyeshadow that you used, which was Buns, and just kind of go on the edges of that dark color and blend it out with the circular motions. Okay, so now that we're caught up on both sides, it looks a little crazy still, but I'm gonna do what's called a half cut crease. And for our shimmery lid, we're gonna take the color SBN, which is this one right here. A tip to make your shimmers pop is take like a little bit of a MAC Fix Plus. You don't
really have to necessarily get a Fix Plus. You can get a spray bottle with water, and that does work too. I do find that the Fix Plus works a little bit better, but
you can use water. And then I'm just gonna pat that on the lid. We're just gonna go back in with that little brush and kind of just blend the edges. When you do cut creases, you leave the harsh line in here, just so it kind of defines it a little bit more. Now you can leave your brow bone matte, or you can add a shimmer. Typically, if I do a shimmer on my lids, I like to keep the brow bone matte, but sometimes when I want to feel extra glowy, I will put a shimmer. And I'm gonna go into Light in this palette, which is the more pinkier shimmer shade. And when I do the brow bone, I don't take it all the way over. I just take it to right in here, kind of stop right there. And then you're gonna go in with that fluffy brush that we began with and just kind of buff out the edges of that. And sometimes I just kind of go in with my finger, and that helps blend it out too. And sometimes I forget this step, but it's always good to kind of take the color you used up in here and the creases and bring it down here, so like the lighter color into like a darker part in the outer. You can do one shade underneath of your eye when you're blending things out, or you can do all of the other colors that you applied to your crease. But today I'm just gonna use the one because it's more simple. I like these kind of small shader brushes for my inner corner. I'm just gonna take that same in light shade that I used on my brow bone and apply it to the inner corner. Putting an inner corner highlight, I feel like definitely makes your eye pop and brightens it up. I just kind of take it and I like feather it up into that color on the lid that I did earlier. You can do a very intense inner eye highlight, which sometimes I like to do, or you can do a more subtle kind of one. I'm gonna do something in between today, and you can just see the difference that that itself makes. I'm gonna do this to the other eye, pop on some falsies and a lip. Alrighty guys, look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up so that I know. Like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell button beside the subscribe button so you get notifications of when I post videos. Comment down below some things that you would like to see in this beauty series, like some things that you would maybe need help with or anything like that. I'm always down to help. I will link my social media down below, and it'll be also at the end of this video, so don't forget to follow me on there. I always reply to my DMs, so if you DM me, I can help you out there as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate all your love and support, and have a good day or night wherever it is that you are. And until next time, bye guys.